So throughout this event, if you could please make sure you stay seated, paying attention. I'd like to present Division Chief, Mr. Preston from the Orange County Fire and Rescue.
Good morning. How you guys doing? You guys haven't had prom yet, right?
No.
Oh, that's tomorrow. Okay, very good. So that's everybody is going to prom who passed FCAT, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. I just had to clown on you for a little bit. I'm sorry. My name is Vince Preston, as the Senior Advisor mentioned, and I'm the Division Chief with Orange County Fire Rescue. And it's a pleasure to be out here with you this morning. This is very important stuff that we're going to talk about. The Orange County Fire Department that responds to your area is the 25th largest fire department in the United States, so you're well protected. And we're also going to have some assistance from the Orlando Police Department, the Orlando Fire Department, Baldwin-Fairchild, and some others that are going to help us pull this off this morning. We just want to give you a few statistics about why we are here and some things that you need to know as young adults. Car crashes are the #1 killer of young people in America today. So that means 43% of all traffic deaths that are occurring in the United States have some alcohol-related connection. And that's particularly troubling for young adults as you guys are now starting your life, what you're going to do with your future. You're going to go to college, if you're going to start a business, become the next Bill Gates, whatever that may be, that all starts right now, and it can be cut very short if you don't make good decisions. And so that's why we're out here as a fire rescue agency. Driving under the influence of drugs and alcohol greatly increases the chances of having a crash and greatly increases the chances that you will be killed or seriously injured and not be able to fulfill your hopes and dreams. Now, another interesting point, beer is the drink most commonly consumed by people stopped for alcohol-impaired driving or involved in alcohol-related car crashes. So sometimes we think about, the happy or the sloppy drunk, and you think that they're drinking hard spirits. No, it's beer. Things that, and let's be realistic, some of you may have access to that. It's readily accessible, but it is the thing that will often lead, it's the gateway that can lead to your death or to serious injury. We are also going to take you into the world of public safety, law enforcement, fire rescue, emergency. I just started my 24th year in the fire service, and so I've seen a lot of deaths. I've seen a lot of alcohol-related accidents. Some of the folks that are going to be demonstrating, they see this stuff every day. This is what they do, and so we want you to pay close attention. We're not actors. This is not a well-rehearsed play of Beauty and the Beast that you may have in the auditorium in drama class. We're public safety people. Some of us are parents. We have kids that are your age. I have a almost 17-year-old, and so this is very personal for me. It's personal for a lot of the folks that are going to be out here today. And we're going to talk about that as we go through this process this morning. Now, something else we want to also let you know, we talk about serious car crashes that may or may not involve alcohol. Every 12 minutes, there is a serious car crash that occurs in America. And just to give you a little idea, in the short time that we will talk today, there will probably be about 7 or 8 serious car crashes that will occur during our event this morning. Every 30 minutes, someone is killed in a DUI crash. And so far this morning, since we have arrived to begin to set up, there have been 2 innocent people who have died because of an alcohol-related crash somewhere in the United States. Okay, what we're going to do today is that we're going to show you how also public safety responds. When actually you get a 911 call, so you see an accident, somebody calls 911 on your cell phone, on your iPhone, on your Virgin phone, on your throwaway phone, but somebody calls, and then we're going to watch that chain of events. And some of it's going to be quite sobering. Some stuff you're going to laugh at because it is funny, and like we said, we're not actors. But there are going to be some things that are going to be very, very serious, and we want you to focus in on those as well. So you'll probably go through a range of emotions. You'll be sober-minded. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll have all of those range of emotions, and that's cool because we're talking about very serious stuff here. So please watch as we start with Jonathan and Hannah. Jonathan and Hannah, you guys know them? Cool beans. All right.
That's my babe.
Well, they're going to start off on a typical run-of-the-mill evening out together. That's cool. They're going to go out for an evening. They have the trust and admiration of their parents. And let's kind of see what's happening here. I think we have mom and dad. And they're just kind of relaxing. Just having a nice Friday evening. Mom's reading People magazine. Dad is reading the Wall Street Journal, whatever he's reading. And Mr. Jonathan is arriving. He's a clean-cut young man. He has a tie on even.
He did.
That jacket's a little tight, but we won't call it.
So why you up so fun tonight? You look good. You look really nice.
Jonathan, nice to meet you. This guy take my daughter to prom? Better.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Oh, goodness.
Check, cowboy.
All right. Calm down. We're going to take some pictures. Day 2014. No, honey, it's like this. See? There you go.
Oh, that way.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Your father.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Smile. 1, 2, 3. All right, why don't you get in there with the mom?
I'll go back. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't want to cut your dress.
There we go. Ready? Smile. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. All right.
Take a selfie.
We're gonna go and come back at like
Midnight?
Midnight.
Midnight.
2 a.m.
Midnight.
Okay, the thing with
No, you're not going to New Smyrna, you're not going to Rosie's, you're not going to Westgate, you're going to be home at midnight.
my phone doesn't end until 11, and Rosie's throwing this really awesome party, and it's my senior year.
Do you really want to fight the woman who hasn't written the check for your graduation party? I'll see you at midnight. Have a lovely night.
You take care of my girl now, you understand? Y'all have fun.
Bye, honey bunny. Oh! Sir? Have fun storming the castle. Oh?
I got it.
Okay, and so
I
now
love
Jonathan
Koalaton.
and Hannah are off with the blessing of Hannah's parents. He's
Alrighty,
jumping
gentlemen.
into the rented hoopty. It's a 1980s word, I guess, you know. All right, so now they're off. The parents have every trust in both Jonathan and Hannah. They've trained Hannah. She has certain moral leanings that they've tried to instill in her. So they are under the impression that what she has told them they're going to be doing for that evening. They're going to have a nice evening, and she's going to be home at midnight. There's not going to be any drinking. None of those things are going to be occurring. They're just going to go out, have a nice time with some friends, and things are going to be cool. And let's see what happens if that is in fact the case.
my God.
Oh my Lord! We have a problem.
There's Will.
Okay, there has been a serious accident here, and it appears to be it was the same vehicle that Jonathan and Hannah were in, and now there seems to be a head-on collision. Let's check this out.
And I think it's my friend. Okay, and it's a friend of the school? Yes. Okay, and you're saying it's an auto accident? Yes, I missed your car, and I think it's my friend. We just came back from work. Can you please come quick? Okay, I'm sending help to you. How many cars are involved? I believe it's 2. Okay, is anybody trapped in the car that they can't get out? Yes, it's really bloody. I think it's 4 of them. I'm not sure. Okay, so they're trapped in the car that they can't get out? Yes. Okay,
Engine 76, Squad 4, Rescue 76, Rescue 71, Captain 5 of Battalion 5. Auto accident with injuries and entrapment. Area of Lake Nona High School, 12500 Narcoossee Road. All units respond emergency at 911.
All right, so what you guys are about to see now is how law enforcement and fire rescue respond to this serious car crash.
Engine 76.
As you can hear, the dispatch is being given, so you have all of the responding agencies. You have the fire engines, the rescue trucks. You have also the sheriff and highway patrol. They'll be doing the investigation. What's most important at this point, though, is life safety. And so they're going to be trying to, as they get on scene, to effect a rescue of those who may be injured, some seriously.
Be advised, caller advised 2 vehicle crash with serious injuries and people trapped. One patient is not responding. 10-0912.
Okay, so now we have law enforcement. They're the first, in this instance, to arrive on scene, and they're going to be asking some questions and checking on some of the patients here to see what's going on, because you got some serious injuries just from the look of it. And I think Jonathan is talking to law enforcement. He's asking him, the police officer, what happened, and Jonathan is trying to give some type of explanation as to...
Engine 76 arriving on scene. I got a 2-vehicle auto accident. Heavy damage via establishing Lake Nona command. Check for driving.
Engine 76 copy on scene with a 2-vehicle auto accident, heavy damage, establishing Lake Nona command, checking for injuries, 913.
Okay, so the first engine company is on the scene. The company officer who's in command of the scene is going to make some assessments and also start to assign some of the EMS personnel so that they will be in the EMS profession called triage, which is a French word that means to sort. So now they're going to prioritize the injuries and who will need to be treated first because of the seriousness of their injuries. So they'll start making those assessments immediately. Also, the company officer is now calling in for additional resources because as they take a look at the scene, they do a scene survey, they find that they have some pretty extensive injuries, and also the car crash has produced some hazards. So there's the need for additional resources that are going to bring to bear are going to be needed, and so they'll be arriving here shortly. Now you may be thinking too that, man, that's a lot of people out here. and there are a lot of folks. But for a major car crash, that's important. It's going to take a lot of hands to get all of this taken care of, to get these people effectively evaluated, to get them packaged and prepared to go to the hospital. Our firefighters have to provide medical treatment to the injured. They're going to have to probably, in this instance, cut away some of the areas of the vehicle to get the patient out. They're going to have to do all of that very quickly because we're really talking about what we call the golden hour. All of that needs to be effected within 1 hour of the time of the incident, and they actually need to be at the hospital. Some of these folks in the surgical suites having interventions that will save their life. So it's going to be important that they work very effectively, quickly, calmly, to get these folks out and get them evaluated. So you can see some of the friends, the guys that were in the tricked out Montero that came past, and now they're out there, friends of Jonathan and Hannah, and they're kind of in a daze. They're kind of just shocked at what's going on. Probably as you would be if you were going to a party that Jonathan and Hannah were also going to. You notice the car that they're in, and you just pull over to the side. You make the call as they appropriately did, where you're just kind of stunned. You can't believe what's going on. And this is a pretty traumatic circumstance. Okay, what they're doing too, you may say, man, they got all of this wood underneath the car and they're bringing all of these tools. That's what we call extrication. You guys ever heard of what they call the jaws of life? Okay, so that's what they're going to, the company officer, the commander on the scene has determined that in order to get them out of these banged up cars, they're going to have to take them apart. And that has to happen with the jaws of life. So they have some of that equipment, but that big truck there that just pulled up that has that big 4 on it, cost about $600,000. Those folks are specially trained to do that type of work. So now they've arrived on the scene. The officer of that unit will get with the incident commander. They'll discuss a way that they can coordinate all of their efforts to get this thing handled so they can cut these cars apart, get these folks out. Now you see what's happening too with Mr. Jonathan. Evidently, he's been talking to law enforcement. He sustained some injuries too, but they're kind of concerned about. I guess he was the driver, and so now they're going to be asking him some additional questions. He seems to be impaired, and what you're going to hear shortly is a series of questions, a conversation that will ensue between he and law enforcement. Okay, so what you see now, so you got firefighters inside of the vehicle. They're stabilizing the patient. You see they may be holding the neck there inside of there. What they're doing is ensuring that there's a cervical stabilization of that patient because of the traumatic forces that were involved. There may be some fractures or some other issues that may be affecting the patients, and so they're very concerned about not causing further injury. So they're going to try to stabilize them so that they don't have any additional spinal compromise as they get them out of this vehicle. Now, you see, a lot of stuff has happened, but I don't believe that we've even crossed the 10-minute mark, but it seems like forever, doesn't it? And we've been here like for a while. But we've been here for less than 10 minutes from the time of call to the time that they arrived on scene and begin to effect the rescue. You also may see that there's a person in a white coat. That's the battalion chief, so that she'll now take over as the incident commander of the entire scene, coordinating the efforts to extricate the patients, but also coordinating the efforts of transporting those patients to the neighboring hospitals. Because you'll have probably more than one patient, depending on the level of activity at the emergency rooms, it may be necessary to have them dispersed to various hospitals throughout the area so that they can be treated effectively and quickly. She'll make all of those determinations in concert with our dispatch center to determine the best course of action. It looks like you have law enforcement, Orlando Police, the DUI unit has arrived on scene, so some of these officers are specifically trained to do the necessary investigation initially, discuss with the person what has happened. As you look at the total scene, you look at the car that both Jonathan and Hannah were in, and on top, part of the investigation is evidence. Look at what's on top of the vehicle. I think it's a case of beer, so that'll be a part of their investigation as they begin to decipher what has happened. And as you can see
there came out of your car?
Hi, Bob. Go ahead, launch here.
Alright, well, you want to do some field sobriety?
Orange County copies launching X-ray 922.
You're fine? Okay. You want to do some exercises? Yes? Okay. Alright, do me a favor, stand right here. Your feet, heels, and toes together, hands down to your side.
Captain 5 to air here on your LV off.
Just like this, hands down to your side. Okay? Do me a favor, take your glasses off.
Captain 5 to air here. I am your LV officer. Here to here.
What I need you to do is follow the quick look head with your eyes only from side to side without moving your head. You understand? Open your eyes only. Don't move your head. Don't move your head.
Captain 5 to air here. What's your ETA?
Okay, let me relax. Alright, next exercise we're going to utilize this white line right here, okay? Yep. Stand with your left foot on the line, right foot in front of it, heel to toe. Hands down your side, just like on the table.
You're going to be landing on the football.
When I tell you to begin the exercise, you're going to take 9 heel to toe steps walking down the line.
Your 4 corners
You're
marked
not
out
with
code.
take a step with your other foot, turning to your left.
Copy.
9 heel to toe steps back down the line.
At the end of the south end of the landing zone is a fuel pool. You also have some light poles that are approximately
1, 2,
40
3,
feet tall.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Flip it around on your front foot. 9 heels and toe steps back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, do you understand the exercise? Do you have any questions? Okay, you give me when you're ready. around and go back. I already explained it to you once.
So as you can see with the officer, they're doing what is called a field sobriety test. So they're assessing Jonathan's if he's under the influence of any substances that would impair his judgment, his perception,
Alright.
essentially his ability to drive and make good decisions.
Turn and face me. Alright, stand with your feet heels toes together. Next exercise is a balancing exercise. It's called the one-leg stand. When I tell you to begin, you're going to take your left or right foot. Nope, don't do it yet. You're going to take your left or right foot off the ground approximately 6 inches. Pull your toes so your foot parallel to the ground. And you're going to count out loud. 1001, 1002, 1003, and so on until I tell you to stop. If you need to put your foot down, pick it right back up, continue where you left off. 1004, 1005. Okay? Do you have any questions?
So you notice while that's going on, they're doing that with Jonathan.
And begin when you're ready.
Rescue efforts are still underway. They're working hard to get all of these folks out, get them assessed. See, we have all of the equipment that's available. As soon as they're extricated from the vehicles, they will be transferred to the paramedics. Well, they can begin. Well, they've already actually started the interventions inside of the vehicles, but they'll be able to put them on the stretchers, get them transported to the appropriate hospitals. You may take a note of the friends that are just on the field, just outside. They're still in a state of shock. That may be you guys too. If you, as we mentioned earlier, you see this happening, you pull up to the side of the road. This is really what it looks like.
Okay, sir. Turn around, put your hands behind your back, you're under arrest for DUI.
WS homeowner or
Where is this?
male, approximately 180 pounds, UCS 5.
Alright.
Approximately 180 pounds, GCS 5, 927.
Okay, Jonathan has not successfully completed the field sobriety test, and so he is being arrested under the suspicion of driving under the influence. As you can see, he's being put in the back of the police cruiser. He's going to be transferred to Orange County Jail, which is going to be located down on 33rd. Hopefully none of you guys are familiar with that place. And he's going to be booked on that. That's a felony charge, and depending on the outcomes of the patients involved, those charges could escalate very quickly. So his life is radically changed.
Rescue 71, copy, transporting traveler to ORC 928.
So Jonathan's life is radically changed at this instant. Of course, his parents don't know. You may take a look at over in the living room. The parents of Hannah, they're watching television, having a conversation. This is a Friday evening. They've worked all week, just like your parents. You know, they have every expectation that what they've instilled in you, the expectations, the rules of the home that they've asked you to abide by, all of those things are being done. They have no idea that perhaps 5 miles down the road, something catastrophic has happened to their daughter. They don't know that. They're totally unaware at this point. Now you may notice in the car that Jonathan was driving, they effected a rescue and they're continuing to effect a rescue in the other vehicle that was struck. But in the car that Jonathan was driving, they were not able to extricate that patient. They did an assessment on her, and they found that she died at the scene. So as you can see, she's been covered. And who was driving with Jonathan? That was Hannah. So this thing is radically going off course here. And now there's someone has died at the scene. Hannah's parents don't know that yet. They're not aware of anything that's occurred. So, as they understand it, at this very instant, Hannah is at the party at someone's home that she told her parents she was going to be at, and they're dancing and talking with friends and talking about the prom and all of those good things.
The 25 for the county, give me emergency traffic, Air Carroll final approach.
You may notice we have a helicopter overhead. The battalion chief,
Standby
incident
for
commander.
emergency traffic, Air Carroll final approach.
The incident commander has indicated that there's a need for extreme intervention and transport of one of the patients who's compromised medically. So she's called in a helicopter to have them transported to the Level 1 Trauma Center, which is located downtown. For the area that we are currently in, she feels that in order to get them there by ground would further compromise them. So they're going to take this intervention and have that completed.
We're trying to clear emergency traffic. Air Carrier landed. Orange County is on Mutual is 1 resume normal traffic. Air Carrier has landed. 932.
Okay, this is the air transport of Orlando Regional, which is the Level 1 Trauma Center. So they're specifically trained in this type of intervention. These are critically ill patients, so this is never going to be a patient that is just wants to ride in a helicopter. These are very sick patients, ill, have very traumatic injuries, and we're going to get them transported and transferred to them so that they can get them down to the Level 1 Trauma Center. Invariably, in situations like that, if they're going to the Level 1 Trauma Center, they'll be in the surgical suites very soon upon landing. So you notice, it seems like we've been here for an eternity. You may have just heard dispatch alerting the incident commander that our crews have been on scene for about 20 minutes. So that's all from the time of call to the time that we arrive on the scene, to the time for them to take the cars apart, to assess all of the patients, to call in the necessary resources. It's only been about 20 minutes, but it seems like a lifetime. So all of this is happening. It's all a coordinated effort.
County, patient extricated for no rear custody.
So once again, just the most critical point of this, Hannah has lost her life in this situation. And her parents, as you can see over her mom is on her cell phone. She's posting the pictures that they took earlier to Instagram.
Were you aware that
Dad is watching Barney Miller on TV Land. He's having a nice Friday evening. have effectively got all of the injured patients in either ground transport or air transportation. They're going to be transferred to neighboring hospitals so that they can effect some type of positive intervention in their lives, hopefully saving lives. All right, so they are off to the neighboring hospitals. That patient, which is the most critically injured, is being transported to the Level 1 Trauma Center downtown. You notice your friends, which in this case could be any one of you, they're there. They're just in a state of disbelief. Can't believe that this has happened. We're supposed to be going to a party, listening to Jay-Z. Everything's supposed to be cool. And things are radically, it's different, man. And Jonathan's life has changed radically. He's being booked in central booking at 33rd. He's going to be charged with a series of felonies. So he's 18 years of age. His life is effectively ending before it has begun. And he doesn't really understand the full import of what has occurred. Hannah's life has ended. So she, all of the hopes and dreams that she had of going to college and attaining all of her dreams. Jonathan had aspirations, if he passed the FCAT, of going to UCF. He was going to do some big things. All of those hopes and dreams are now dashed because of some bad decision making, some illegal decision making, because they were underage, and it's caused a lot of suffering that is going to ensue. So now the death investigation begins on the scene, so you'll have law enforcement. Of course, the fire department will remain on scene because they will have to assist in the removal of the body from the vehicle. That normally requires either the medical examiner's office to arrive on scene. Sometimes they're overwhelmed, so we will have various funeral homes that will do the necessary removal of the body and transport it to the morgue. She'll have to undergo an autopsy because they need to determine, as part of the death investigation, the cause of death. So she's 18 years old. She's not dying because of cancer. She's not dying because of childhood diabetes. She's not dying because of some hereditary illness that is transferred from one generation of the family to the next. She's dying because of bad decision making and doing things that were inappropriate.
Like a comet,
As you can see, Hannah's parents are somewhat worried now because the hour has grown late. So they're kind of they're pacing, trying to figure out. It's probably now after midnight, so they're calling her phone, trying to figure out what you were clear.
I felt really proud inside, Mom, the way you said I would. And I didn't drink and drive, even though the others said I should. I knew I did the right thing, Mom. I knew you were usually right. And then the party was ending and everyone was driving out of sight. I got into the car, Mom. I thought I'd get home in one piece. Because of the way you raised me, so responsible and sweet. I started to drive away. And as we pulled out on the road, there was another car coming. And it hit us like a load. Then later on the pavement, Mom, I heard the policeman say my date had been drinking, but I was the one who was dead. There was blood all around me, Mom. I couldn't believe it was mine. And then I heard the medic say I would die in a short time. I wish I could have told you, Mom. I swear I didn't drink. It was the others, Mom, the others who didn't think. I felt sharp pain. Pain just like a knife. Why do people drink and drive? Don't they know it can ruin your whole life? My date was walking around, Mom, and I didn't think it was fair. I lay there dying, and all he could do was stare. I tried to take him shorter. I was so very scared. Please don't cry for me, Mom. When I needed you, you were always there. I'm lying here dead, Mom. How could my life have ended so soon? How could this happen to me? My life just burst like a balloon. Tell my brother not to cry and tell Daddy to be brave. And when I go to heaven, Mom, put Daddy's girl on my grave. Someone should have told him not to drink and drive. If only they would have told him, Mom, I might still be alive. I had only one question before I said goodbye. If I didn't drink and drive, Mom, why was I the one who died?
So Hannah's being transported to the medical examiner's office downtown. There'll probably be an autopsy. Well, there'll have to be a confirming of her body by her parents. But that'll take place here shortly. But after that takes place, then there'll be an autopsy, maybe even this evening, throughout the night, or first thing tomorrow. The death investigators, the homicide investigators, are going to need that information. Because they're more than likely going to pursue charges of vehicle homicide against Jonathan. As you can see, Hannah's parents, they're worried now because it's after midnight. They had given clear instructions to their daughter, and so now they're going to find out what happened to their daughter, but it's going to be the most unpleasant circumstances that they would have ever imagined, because they're going to be informed by a highway patrol officer of the condition of their daughter.
Honey, Hannah's home. It's about time you got...
Hi, I'm Sergeant Montez of the Highway Patrol. Are you Hannah Case's parents?
I am, yes.
Can I come in, please?
Sure. What seems to be the problem?
No. Ma'am, if I can have you guys sit down for just a second.
Calm down, honey. Calm down.
I'm sorry. There's been a bad crash. If you could sit down, I can tell you what happened. Hannah got in a car with a driver who had been drinking. There was a bad crash. He crashed the car, and I'm sorry to tell you that Hannah did not survive. She died in the crash. The driver's been arrested for DUI. He's fine, but when she got in the car with a drunk driver, unfortunately, that was the last time that she did anything, and she did die. What I'm going to need you to do now is I'm going to need you to come down to the medical examiner's office. You're going to have to identify her body.
No, she's graduating, and she's going to Tulane.
I'm so sorry to tell you this. This happens too often, but what we need to do now is we need to go get in my car, and we need to go down to the medical examiner's office so you can identify her body.
She was going to transfer to Tulane.
Y'all can come with me.
So the state trooper has informed the parents of the condition of their daughter. She's going to transport them down to the medical examiner's office so that they can do a positive ID of Hannah's body. That was not what they were expecting that day, this evening, but that is what happened. So they're going to have to deal with this. It's a sobering experience for any parent or any loved one to be told that type of news and then have to go through the series of events that must take place. So she's going to drive them down. They're now going to have to notify other family members. They're going to have to begin to make funeral arrangements to supplant the arrangements that they have of a party, a graduation, taking her to Tulane and dropping her off. All of those hopes and dreams have now been dashed by a series of ill-timed, ill-gotten, and just unnecessary mistakes. Foolishness, really. And so their lives are going to be radically different. This will be, when they view their daughter through that plexiglass, that will be the last time that they will have a visual image of who she was. And just 4 hours earlier, she was alive, vivacious, and had every expectation of fulfilling all of her hopes and dreams. So, but that's all dashed now. So that will be the lasting image that they will see of her. And also the friends that were here in the beat-up Montero. That's the last image that they're going to have of them too. So those are memorable images that are indelibly imprinted on your brain. You never forget those. You never forget those images. And also it has an effect on the responders. Even though that this is what we're trained to do, this is our life's work, it does have an effect on the responders. It never gets easy. As dispassionate as the trooper was in relaying that information, and I particularly know that trooper, she has a son. And so the firefighters that were responding, they have children, they have nieces, or they have cousins. And so they feel they can see the faces of their loved ones and the faces that were affected by this unnecessary emergency. So unlike, as we mentioned earlier, cancer or some other fateful disease that leaves no hope for life afterwards, and it's genetic or some other environmental factors, this was totally preventable. This did not have to happen. And this is, even though this is a mock-up, this is real. This happens to us a lot in this community. There are over 1 million people that live in Orange County, and a good number of the accidents, particularly at this time of the year, involve teenagers under the age of 19 involved in vehicle accidents, and there is alcohol involved. A lot of it. So that's why we're so passionate about this. We wanted to come out and talk to you guys because we see it every day. This is a mock-up, but this could be something that we'll respond to this evening, and it will be totally unnecessary. Not to mention, not to make light of Jonathan's situation, Jonathan now is going to go into the criminal justice system, which no one should ever want to be in. His parents were sitting too. We didn't show their parents, but his parents were totally unaware of what's happening. So now they're going to get a call from the Orange County Corrections Division notifying them that their son has been arrested on some very serious charges. So they'll go down and they'll talk with him to the extent possible. The arrangements that they will have to make is securing a lawyer which can be very expensive. And they will go through that odyssey of a process that will cost tens of thousands of dollars. And because there is a homicide involved, it is quite likely that he will do very serious time in the state penal system. So this is a homicide, vehicular homicide. It carries, I believe, a 15-year penalty. So he will still be a relatively young man once he exits. However, now to begin life, he has to make some decisions. How does he live? When he fills out a job application, he has to indicate that he is a convicted felon. And that starts a whole series of conversations. So he will relive. This situation will not end here. He too will carry this situation for the rest of his life and have to face and deal with the consequences of actions that should never have occurred. It's important to remember that 60% of all fatal crashes on prom and graduation weekends involve alcohol, drinking, and driving. It's not cool. It's not. It's stupid. And it's unnecessary. And so we're pleading with you as public safety professionals, but also just fellow citizens. Don't get yourselves involved in that. It is unnecessary, and you guys have your whole life ahead of you. So as we mentioned, we're not on the Academy Awards. You probably saw some mistakes here as we choreographed this thing. We're firefighters, police officers, and other public safety people, but we do feel compelled to share this information with you. And we want you to give yourself the opportunity to live, to love life, to love everything. All of you guys are about to graduate, hopefully, and you're about to go on to bigger and better things. And you should. You should not have to face the consequences or the circumstances that are here. So we hope that this has been worth your time for the last hour or so, that you take away something from it positive, and you live it accordingly. So we want to have you please join me in thanking all of the law enforcement, fire rescue, public safety agencies that were here this morning. As well as the Smallwood Fairchild Funeral Home and many of the other agencies, community groups that made this possible. We appreciate you guys. Hopefully we see you at the fire station just doing a tour and not under these circumstances. We'll talk to you later. Peace.